So North Carolina loses in the NCAA Women's Soccer Championship last night at Wake Met Soccer Park. Awesome crowd from what I saw on television, sold out, nearly 10,000 people. Exciting finish, exciting game, but it didn't go North Carolina's way. And this has led to an interesting pushback on people like you, Giglio, or the idea that only good things happen to North Carolina. Here's a smattering from two of the more rational North Carolina fans that I know.
Yes.
Brian Barber, who was the originator of Tar Heel blog, which still goes today. Shout out to Al. This was from 8 days ago. Brian Barber, I don't want to hear talk of Carolina refs or only good things happening to UNC. And then he retweeted that with points to sign. This was after the controversial call at the end of the game. This is from Doc Kennedy, another guy part of that original Tar Heel blog website. Pretty active UNC guy on Twitter. Well, at least as a UNC fan, I can take comfort in knowing that the heartbreak of the last 3 weeks, including losing a national title on a questionable call with 16 seconds left, is only 1/1000th of what it's like to be a State fan on an average week, with the gif of Bill Murray, Caddyshack, saying, so I got that going for me, right? We could take it a step further. I don't know who it was that tweeted, but you pointed out to me, like, UNC fans should be owed compensation for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, if you're a UNC fan who has lived through the past couple of weeks, you may be entitled to financial compensation.
Somebody from the Levitard, I forgot who it was from the Levitard show. I think it was Jessica, who said something like, I'm truly believing in the Coach K curse, meaning you did the devil's bargain. You have the monkey's paw. You ruined Coach K's farewell tour. You literally ended his career in the Final Four. But at what cost? Where's Thanos when you need him, right?
November 20th, North Carolina won the Field Hockey National Championship. It was their 6th since 2007 and their 10th. In the spring, the women's lacrosse team won the national title. It was their 4th and 5th years, correct?
7 straight ACC titles, by the way.
Okay. In the men's basketball team, they were in the Final Four.
Yeah.
I want to try to put this in perspective for you about North Carolina's men's basketball and give you a little bit of history about the triangle, okay?
Sure.
In 1987, that's the last time NC State won the ACC tournament in men's basketball. At that time, North Carolina had more ACC titles than anyone at 10. NC State had 9. Since then, since that time, I just want to tell you this, okay? And by the way, they had the same number of national championships.
Yeah.
They had 2 each.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Since that time, North Carolina has won the ACC tournament 7 times. North Carolina has been to the Final Four 12 times. North Carolina has won the NCAA tournament 4 times. That's just since that moment. Okay? So they've had a few things. Now, getting specifically to women's soccer.
Yeah.
All right? I went to school with Damon Nahas, who is Anson Doran's top assistant now. And I feel for Damon. I feel for Anson. I feel for everyone on that women's team.
Yeah, no.
Because when you're up 2-0, and by the way, this is the 3rd time in 5 years they've been the runner-up in that tournament. Okay? I feel for everyone in that program and everyone affiliated with the team. Because that's a heartbreak. To think that you have it and to work towards that goal. And remember, with women's soccer, like women's basketball, these teams stay together. They build together. You know, these are veteran groups, and they really pour everything they have into this. Okay? So for them to lose the way that they did is awful.
Yeah.
Okay? But as a fan, I need you to try to keep this in perspective. The UNC women's soccer team last night was playing for its 22nd national title. NCAA title. The NCAA tournament has been played 41 times. Carolina's won it 21 times. So this is not as if you've lived through some sort of hardship as a fan.
It's been 10 years.
As a fan. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, let's get back to men's basketball. Oh, no, Joe. 4 straight losses? How awful. All 2 good teams, by the way. And, by the way, meaningless regular season college basketball games. So what is the suffering there? Oh, but football, we lost to Clemson. We've lost 3 straight in football. True.
Lost to State.
But you also won 9 games this year. You won the Coastal Division, and you turned around the best quarterback in the ACC and set yourself up for next year with Drake May as, again, someone who'll be in the conversation not only for All-American, but the Heisman Trophy. So What did you really lose out on in football? You had a really, really good season.
Everything is relative. When you're used to success and you don't get that success, it can hurt.
Let me add one more thing here.
Yeah.
I never used the luck word with Carolina.
Of course.
You can comb through all of this stuff, go through all of my tweets.
Mm-hmm.
I don't call Carolina lucky, and I don't say only good things happen to them. If you're going to quote me and you're going to subtweet me, do it the right way. What I say is, if something good can happen to Carolina, it will. And you watch this group next year turn around and win this thing, because that, more often than not, has been what happens to Carolina.
You called this out with Courtney Bangart and the women's basketball team after what happened last year and with Reynolds and everything else. What kind of group does she have right now?
She has a veteran group, and she's running hot. So what I'm saying to you is, I don't call Carolina lucky, and I don't say nothing good, nothing bad. No, what I say to you is, if something good can happen, it will for Carolina, and it usually does. And it's not luck. It is hard work, and it is talent, and it's having the right coaches.
So you mentioned basketball. We mentioned football. I might add that baseball just won the ACC championship in 2022. They've been to the College World Series a bunch of times. That ACC championship, somewhere Elliot David's going, excuse me?
I would like one of those.
He had one until he scored
no runs
against Duke. We mentioned field hockey. Women's lacrosse, 6 of the last 7 ACC titles, last year's NCAA title. Women's tennis, it's not NCAA, it's ITA Indoor National Championships. They've won the last 3. Men's and women's ultimate club sport still. Like, if we didn't even include club sports, for heaven's sake. Pickleball, the hottest sport going today. They actually just sent a group to Texas for the collegiate championships. They won the pickleball club championships. So this is 2 things that we'll wrap with. Are you sitting down, Giglio? Are you ready?
I am.
What is the favorite thing you love to hear from me?
What you're about to say to me.
You were right. Because not that long ago, you said Carolina fans want it all.
Yeah, that's what this comes down to.
So the way that things have been treated the last couple of weeks with, oh my goodness, how terrible is all this stuff? Like, so you even need NC State's misery? Is you're coming for that too? Like, you can't even let NC State just be the miserable group in the triangle? Like, oh no, we're so put upon in the heartbreak. State fans are looking at you like, what? So this is what it sounds like. This is what it sounds like to me. It sounds like a New York Times feature where they have a couple who's having to cut back on their budget because, the economy isn't so great. Inflation's really high. So you click on the article. Oh, have they talked to some like middle-class family that has to really shut down, going to the grocery store, working those coupons, that kind of stuff? No. The New York Times talks to a couple where like it's a Wall Street bigwig and some art dealer spouse, and where they've really had to cut back on the budget is, the house we had in Tahoe, we had to sell. And we just have to slum it by going to the huge beach house in the Outer Banks that blocks like half the dune now. So it's really having to cut back. And I'm not making this up. There was a feature on a couple where the wife said, well, we just can't go to Italy like we used to when we want to have Italian food. Man, really rough. That's what you sound like. Man, it's been hard. It's not been that hard.